welcome back to Clean with Kate, and in this video I'm going to be tackling one of the things on my weekly home blessing. I'm going to be tackling mopping. I'm going to be mopping my tiled floors. I vacuumed them earlier today and it's now it's 6:20 in the evening, and I'm going to mop them. But while I'm mopping, I'm also going to share, oh my goodness, I've vacuumed and yeah, it's got mucky again. It's off in the way, isn't it? I'm going to share my top tips, my top mopping tips. So if you'd like to join me, I'm going to put the camera harness on and we'll get going. We're going in the messy utility room, which is a bit of a mess. It's actually stressing me, this room at the moment. This is currently my least favourite room in the house. And I really do need to do something with this room because it does not spark any joy in me. Anyway, the first thing I'm going to do, because I'm mopping tiled floors, is I'm going to run some really hot water. Now, if you're mopping wooden floors, then you don't want the water as hot. I'm going to get my lightweight mop bucket out. And I'm going to get some of the cleaning product. So I'm going to use one of my favourites, which is the Flash for pets, for pet odour mess, and it's got a really nice citrus scent. Might give it a shake actually. Let's see how hot. Oh, the water's nice and hot. Okay, I'm going to put 2 capfuls in. I've read the instructions, and it's really important to put the right amount of cleaning product in for the size of your mop bucket. This is a standard mop bucket, and the instructions are to put 2 capfuls in. I only learned recently, I only actually read the instructions on the cleaning fluid in the last 12 months, bizarrely. Before that, I was only putting 1 capful in. And oh my goodness, what a difference it makes to actually follow the instructions. So that's my first tip, is nice hot water. And then my second tip is read the instructions on the floor cleaning product that you're using. I select a product that smells really nice. So when you're in the supermarket, sometimes I sniff the product. And I pick the ones I like the smell of. I have a couple of different ones on the go because I like to ring the changes. So last time I washed some mats, I actually did put the mop heads through. So my mop heads are nice and clean. Again, this is something I only learned in the last 12 months. Thanks to Daniel, I think it was Daniel who put me straight. I'm using a FlyLady super mop. This head's been on for quite a while, so I could probably do with a new head soon. But I had no idea. I used to throw my mop heads away when they got smelly. But then Daniel pointed out to me, you could put them through the washing machine and they actually come off and you can give them a good wash. So my third tip is, if you're using this sort of mop, that you can wash them. And if you wash them regularly, it stops them smelling horrible. So your floors smell better. If your mop head's smelly, I used to bleach them and do all sorts of things to them. So I'm starting anyway. I'm going to talk to you while I mop. So that's number 3. Number 3 tip. So I have got nice hot water. Read the instructions on the cleaning product. Pick a smell that you like. And wash your mop heads regularly if you've got this sort of mop where you can wash it. Obviously, read the instructions on the mop head you've got. I like the FlyLady super mops. I did not long ago try the Swiffer mop with the sort of disposable mop things, but actually on my floors, because I have a lot of tiled and stone floors and old tiled floors, they weren't very good. They just couldn't cope with our floors. I think they're designed for hardwood floors or engineered wooden floors. I don't think they're designed for these sort of tiles. Or very small houses or small kitchens. They just couldn't cope with our floors. Our floors are big. They absorb some of the liquid. So tip number 3 is don't over wet the floors. So when you put the water on and then you take the water off, and just be careful. Wear a decent pair of trainers or something on your feet so you don't slip. Something with some grip. So that's tip number 4. Okay. And tip number 5 is mop away from where you're going. So you can see what I'm doing. I'm starting at this end of the house and I'm mopping towards the utility room. So I won't need to walk on the floors again. The floors in this room will dry very, very quickly. I don't always get it right. Sometimes I get it wrong and I mop myself in. But today, hopefully, I'm going to get it right. So that's tip number 5. Tip number 6 is go back to the mop bucket regularly. Because otherwise all you're doing is spreading the dirt around the room. So every so often you need to pop back to the mop bucket. I know it's a pain. And then you need to squish your mop in like this, and then knock the bulk of the water off. You do not want your mop too wet. And particularly if you're mopping engineered wooden, if you're mopping wooden floorboards, you need a lot less moisture than your tiles. You can get away with a bit more, but for engineered wooden floors or wooden floorboards, you don't want them to warp. If you put too much wet onto them, and that's a problem that we have had a little bit at the cottage because we have different cleaning teams coming. Sometimes the cleaners put a lot of water on the wooden floors, and it is not good for them. It stains them, and it causes them to warp. I think some of them don't understand that you need to treat a wooden floor differently to a tiled floor. A tiled floor you can get away with a lot more. And stone floors, oh my goodness, they are quite a challenge to mop. Problem with a stone floor is, one, you've usually put a sealant on it, and every time you mop it, I think it washes the sealant off. But the other thing is a stone floor, and this floor actually, they absorb the moisture. So you can see there where that dog bowl's been, it's marked the floor. This is a tile, an old tile, a reclaimed tile, but it's very porous, and we did not seal it properly when it went down. And it's very porous. I think the sealant just struggles with the mopping. I think particularly with the stone floor, don't over mop them. Don't mop them too often. Because I think my gut feeling is, having used these things, is that you just mop the sealant off. Right, I don't think I've done this bit. I think I managed to miss this bit. Let's go back. I probably need to go back to the mop bucket as well. Golly, it's warm. Another tip, wear lightweight clothing, because you'll get warm. Mopping is a real physical exercise, and I usually wear an old pair of trainers, because if the floor's dirty and you drip the dirty water on your feet, if you've got a nice pair of white trainers on, it will stain the trainers. But I am actually wearing a grey pair of trainers. These are my house trainers. So I'm going to be careful there, because these are my new house trainers as opposed to my scruffy old ones. And I don't really want them covered in dirty water. This water isn't actually that bad, because I mopped these floors on Friday and it's only Monday today. So I know the water's not going to be, well, I don't know. It has been a muddy weekend. It has rained and rained. Oh, I'm just going to quickly go into the entrance of that room. Because I know the mop's not too wet, and that is an old wooden floor. That's original to the house. Right. Okay, we're going to the next floor now. So you can see this water is getting dirtier and dirtier. Even though I only mopped on Friday, there's still a lot of moisture a lot of dirt coming off the floor. Right, next tip is vacuum. Before you mop, if you can, it's best to either vacuum the floor, brush the floor, or go over the floor with a Swiffer. But I would say for me, because I've got a lot of floors, we always vacuum before we mop, just because our floor's always filthy. Because we've got dogs, there's always lots of dog hair. And I think it's best, look at that, you see, look, I've just gone under there. And look at all that dog hair that's come out. I must have missed it with the vacuum cleaner. I'm going to actually just leave it there because I can't get to the bin. But that's the reason that I vacuum, because there's so much dog hair. But I clearly missed a bit, but I'm not going to beat myself up for that. So for the best results, I would vacuum first, then mop. Is it going to cause any harm if you don't vacuum first? No, it isn't. You'll probably just end up with a lot more muck in your mop bucket, but it'll probably still get it up. But for the best results and the most rewarding clean, I would always vacuum first, or brush the floor and then maybe quickly vacuum it or Swiffer it. Swiffers work very well on wooden floors, but I found, again, on our floors are so big, and we have 3 dogs. The Swiffer just, again, doesn't really cope very well. We've got engineered wooden floors in the barn upstairs, and we keep the dogs downstairs. So just the bedrooms have the engineered floors. So they're really good. Swiffer is really good on the engineered floors. And a Swiffer mop would probably be okay on the engineered floorboards, but not on the tiles. It just can't cope with our house. Also, Swiffer's quite expensive, whereas this is really inexpensive way of cleaning your floors. The mop head and the mop lasts for ages. Oh my goodness, I've had this mop we've actually got 2 of these, so that, because the one floors in the big barn are so enormous, we can do it 2 of us together. I meant to set a timer for this, but I completely forgot. How long have I been going? I've been going for 10 minutes. I think because I'm talking to you, it's taking longer than it would normally. Although I do usually talk to you when I'm mopping, don't I? I spend a lot of time mopping. I think if you live in the countryside and you've got dogs, you've always got mud in your house. Right, I should have probably left that bit and gone behind myself. I've got confused. I've missed a bit as well, I think. Do you know what? It doesn't have to be perfect. Golly, look at that water now. It's absolutely filthy. Right, I'm just going into the entrance hall now. This is always a muddy area because this is where the welly is and the boots get left. I suppose it's a boot room really, isn't it? It's a very small boot room. There's always boots here. And just give it a quick once over. Mopping in the dark. But this time of year, because it's so dark in the mornings and it's so dark after work, then sometimes you just have to do your housework in the evenings or in the early mornings when it's dark. But you know what? It may not be perfect. You may not be able to see exactly what you're doing, but it's better than not doing it at all. Right, we're nearly there. Oh, God, we're going back into my horrible utility room. I really have to do something about this year. It's not good, this room. Let's just put the mop bucket in there. I'll switch some lights on for you to see. Do I have any other tips to share? After you finish mopping, wash your mop bucket out, rinse it out, because the water that's coming out is going to be absolutely filthy. So you want a nice clean mop bucket for next time. You don't want anything smelly water left in the bottom. And then take your mop head off. And next time you're putting a load of, say, doormats through, or I sometimes put it in with the dog beds, then you could just put your mop head in that wash with a bit of a laundry booster in. I probably sometimes put a sort of laundry fragrance in with it as well as the laundry detergent. And you know, they come out absolutely wonderful. And then I just hang them on the little sock areas to dry, and then they're ready for next time. Do you know, I might treat myself to a new mop head. I'm just going to finish up. Golly, look at that water. I said these floors weren't that bad, but when you look at the water, it's shocking. Wait till I pour it out and you'll see it in the sink. It's going to be absolutely shocking how dirty it is, because I didn't think they were that bad. Just shows you a muddy weekend with the dogs and the family. Oh, golly, what's that dog bell doing down there? I really need to do some work on this room. This room is just so cluttered at the moment. I've got all my gardening stuff in here because it's getting cold. I don't like to leave it in the shed. Right. One more go and then we're done. And then we get to see how bad it is. What do you use to mop your floors? Please do share in comments, and if you've got any mopping tips that I've missed, anything you want to add, please share it in the comments as well. It's amazing. Two of these things I only learned in the last 12 months. Right, let's get rid of the water. Are you ready for it? Oh my goodness, look at that. It's just awful. Look at that water. That was all over my floors. I'm so glad to see it go. I've got to get a sink. This is a mucky utility room sink. This sink never looks great. It may be one of our projects to give this utility room a makeover. Let's wash out the mop bucket. That's nice and clean. And I'll just quickly show you how to take the mop head off. Hopefully it'll go to plan. So to take your FlyLady super mop head off, you just put one foot either side of it and you pull. Yay! Look at that. So the mop head is off, so it can go in the next load of laundry when I'm doing sort of a mucky load. I'll just leave it there for now so I remember. Anyway, thanks for joining me. My floors are clean and the house smells much nicer. So now I'm just going to go relax, put my feet up, just move my laundry back next to the Arga. Anyway, thanks for joining me. Bye for now.